Waste of time, if you ask me.
What was he?
The whole thing's a complete fabrication. And what's more, Birdsworth's contribution proves it.
Well, if it is, Dr. Weissman will soon find out. So let's leave it in his hands, shall we?
Well, I'm just an ordinary housewife. Well, not really. I mean, I'm a hairdresser during the day, but well, that still means I have to go home and do the cooking and cleaning and get tea at night.
Does your daughter help you?
Well, I can't expect much of her. She's just a kid. And Jack doesn't do much around the house. But that's okay, I suppose. I mean, he works pretty hard during the day.
People have been telling you lately that Jack and Debbie are dead, haven't they?
Yes.
What was your reaction to that?
Well, what do you reckon? I mean, I know they were alive a couple of days ago. And yet everyone in this madhouse tells me they've been dead for years. Well, it's like being in the middle of a nightmare. Look, Doctor, if someone would just get in touch with my husband, he's got money. I know he'd get a good solicitor or whatever's necessary.
Yes, all right, all right. We'll come back to that in a minute. I want to hear more about this, what you call a nightmare. This fight with Margot Gaffney. How did that come about?
Well, I don't even know it really happened. I can remember having my hands around someone's throat and squeezing. I wanted to kill them. I mean, I really wanted to kill them. And then what was worse is I felt I had the power to do it. I mean, inside me, it just... Oh, it scared me.
Tell me about these flashbacks.
Nothing to tell, really. It's like going to a place you've never been to before and everything's familiar.
No, but what were they like? I mean, what did you see?
Well, I remember seeing a woman being killed during an argument. And I remember Mum's place. Well, no, not her place or the address. That came later. But the number. I didn't remember her. I still don't. Even when I got there, I had to ask her if she knew me. And at times I feel closed in. And everything's black. Nothing. And I know there is something there. Something solid.
Anything else? What about Karen Travers? Frankie Doyle?
Oh, I've heard some of the other prisoners mention the last name, but it doesn't mean anything to me.
What would you do if you suddenly found out that Debbie was addicted to heroin?
Well, nothing. It just wouldn't happen. I mean, Debbie's not that sort of kid.
No, I mean, just for a moment, suppose that she did. What would you feel? Hatred?
Towards Debbie?
No, to the person who enticed her. What would you want to do? Would you want to lash out at him?
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't be very happy. I mean, no one would. Well, I suppose I'd ring the police. I mean, that's what they're there for, isn't it? Look, Doctor, I don't think you understand. I've got a good husband and a lovely daughter. Now, why would I want to spoil that?
I must say, Bob, the service around here has improved.
Are you saying it wasn't too good before?
Yes.
Well, I might marry the lady, make it permanent.
Not if you don't. Meg, I really have to agree with Ron. You certainly know how to make your guests feel comfortable.
Oh, well, we should be doing this more often. You're most welcome.
I'll get it.
Don't say that. You'll never get rid of us.
Bob Morris.
So you're planning on any more, or just...
Yes, she's here.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Let me go.
Oh, well, just a minute.
Meg.
Excuse me.
The police.
Police? Hello, Meg Morris speaking. Yes, I know him. But does it have to be me? All right, then. Yes. Oh. Fine. Thank you.
What was that about?
Nick Clark, you know the boy you met in my office? Well, he's been picked up by the police and has asked to see me.
Well, can't it wait till morning?
Well, yes, darling, I suppose it could, but it means he'd have to spend the night in the lockup.
We're probably doing the world a good.
Oh, come on, you know you don't mean that. Darling, I have to go. Oh, excuse me, but something rather urgent has just come up, and I really do have to go. I'm sorry.
Some other time.
Been a pleasure.
I'm sorry, darling. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Okay.
Wonder how Bee's going with Weissman.
Yeah, she's been gone a long time.
She'll be right. Wait and see.
You sound very confident, Lizzie.
Of course I am. Bee'll handle Wiseman, even if I did have to nudge the screws to get him in.
Well, I still think it was a bad risk. It could just as easily have worked against her.
No, not a hope. Me and Mrs. Davo get on like a house on fire. All I needed was a chance to see her.
Oh, dear, much later than I thought. It's time to take my pills. Excuse me. Did you bring those biscuits?
No, I ain't got no biscuits. Oh, no, ripped me off the last time.
I'm so hungry I could eat my head feet.
Oh, it's you.
Well, you asked for me, didn't you?
I just thought my mother might come.
I doubt that. I went to see them this afternoon.
Told you. But you wouldn't listen.
What sort of a charge have you got him on?
Well, there isn't any charge yet. He was picked up with a bunch of young blokes we suspect vandalised a number of phone boxes.
Well, if there's no charge, he can leave.
Oh, we haven't decided that yet. You see, he wasn't very nice to our boys out there tonight. So we brought him and his mates in to cool down a bit. If he's prepared to apologise, well, we might even let him go.
And if he doesn't?
We've got all night.
Well, Nick, are you prepared to apologise?
I'm not sure.
Not sure what?
I'm not sure if I want to apologise. I didn't do anything wrong.
You calling one of my men a liar?
No.
Then you'll apologise. Constable, lock him up.
Apologise, Nick. Don't be a fool.
Well, it's up to you, Clark. Apologise or back to the cells.
Great choice.
It's the best you'll get tonight. What's it to be?
All right.
All right, what?
All right, I'll apologise.
Then don't keep the lady waiting. Get on with it.
I'm sorry.
Sorry for what?
I'm sorry for what I did.
Okay. Go on, get out of here.
Thank you, Sergeant.
You're welcome, Mrs. Morris. I wish you luck with him. You're going to need it.
You're very lucky, you know that?
I don't know. I was just starting to enjoy myself.
Oh, well, perhaps I should have left you there.
Please, spare me the sermon.
Look, you don't stand a chance hanging around with a mob like that.
What do you expect me to do? I can't afford to live on my own. My parents don't want me, so what do I do? Live under a bridge?
There are other places. What about a hostel?
With all the drunks and deros. Terrific.
Oh, they're not all like that.
They want your soul for a bowl of soup and a rotten bed. Then they expect you to pray to God and be grateful for it. No thanks.
You're not being very helpful.
Well, if you want to help so much, why don't you offer me something at your place?
Now, you know as well as I do that I've got my own life to lead.
Oh, yes. As long as you can wash your hands of us at the end of each day. You're like everybody else. You don't really care. Thanks for nothing.
Oh, Mum, we didn't know that you had to take pills.
It's not the end of the world, Doreen.
Well, you look pretty healthy to me. What are they for?
Diabetes. Nothing too dramatic.
God, you don't take fits or anything like that, do you?
Not on the hour, dear, but if I do, I know I can rely on you.
Huh?
Oh, I'm all right, Doreen, really.
Oh. How'd you go, Bee?
Yeah, come and tell us all about it, Bee.
You just leave me alone.
Now, calm down, Bee. Sit down. They mean no harm.
Yeah, well, after this morning, you could have fooled me.
How do you feel?
Exhausted, but you wouldn't believe all the questions.
And what's the outcome to be?
I don't know, I didn't let on.
Well, you don't think Weissman's going to be any different from any other witch doctor we've had in here. Don't worry, you'll be the last one to know.
Well, as long as you put it over him, that's all that matters.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's all right, Bee. They're only trying to help.
Oh, really? Well, you got me into trouble this morning, and I don't like that. So if you want to help me, leave me alone!
Darling, I know you're angry. I'm sorry.